The FDA just flagged this peptide. And the moment that news dropped, search traffic went up, not down. When regulators start paying attention to something, so do I. This is GHK-Cu. I stamp it into my face once a week and I pin it 5 days a week. And today I'm going to tell you exactly why. You are paying $150, $200, sometimes $300 for a peptide serum. And the concentration of the active ingredient is so low, it's practically decorative. The brand knows it. The chemist who formulated it knows it. And they're betting you don't know it. I have a biology degree. I've done field research. I do not take ingredient labels at face value. And when I went looking for a real GHK-Cu formulation, one with an actual therapeutic concentration, I couldn't find what I wanted at a price that made sense. So I made it myself. This is what I made. And this episode is going to explain exactly what's in it and why. GHK-Cu stands for glycine histidine lysine copper. It's a naturally occurring copper peptide, meaning your body already produces it. It plays a central role in wound healing, tissue repair, and skin regeneration. Researchers have been studying it since the 1970s. That's over 50 years of research. So many people think that peptides are a new thing. It's not a trend. This is established science that the beauty industry finally caught up to. Copper itself is essential to human biology. It's involved in collagen cross-linking, enzyme function, and antioxidant defense. GHK-Cu essentially delivers copper directly to the tissue that needs it and triggers a cascade of repair signals in the process. Let me give you the number that stopped me cold when I first read it. In a 12-week clinical study using a 2% GHK-Cu formulation, researchers measured a 32.8% reduction in wrinkle depth and a 20 to 30% improvement in skin firmness. Those are not subtle numbers. Those are the kind of numbers that make you put down your $200 serum and start asking better questions. Here's what the research shows GHK-Cu does at the cellular level. 1, it stimulates collagen synthesis, your skin's structural protein, the thing that keeps it nice and firm, bouncy, and resistant to gravity. GHK-Cu activates the gene responsible for producing it. 2, it accelerates wound healing. This is where the research is deepest. GHK-Cu has been studied extensively for burns, surgical wounds, and chronic skin damage. It doesn't just heal, it remodels. The tissue that forms is better organized than what was there before. 3, it's anti-inflammatory. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary drivers of visible skin aging. GHK-Cu downregulates inflammatory signaling, which means less redness, less breakdown, less damage accumulating over time. 4, it stimulates angiogenesis, new blood vessel formation. Better circulation to the skin means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients, and better clearance of cellular waste. Now, let's talk about the FDA, because this is the part that's all over the biohacking community right now, and I want to be clear about what's actually happening. The FDA actually categorized injectable GHK-Cu as category 2, meaning they have questions about its safety profile in injectable form and want more data. Topical GHK-Cu remains category 1, meaning it's considered acceptable for use. Here's what's important. The FDA flagging something for more research does not mean it's dangerous. It means regulators are paying attention to something the biohacking community has been using for years. And now they want data. Honestly, I think it's appropriate. I also think it's exactly the kind of scrutiny that will eventually produce the human trial data this compound deserves. I'll be transparent with you. I use GHK-Cu both topically and subcutaneously as part of my personal research protocol. I've made an informed decision based on the available research. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I do and why that's the whole point of this series. Here's something most people don't understand about topical peptides. And it's why most peptide skincare underperforms. Peptides applied to intact skin get limited and inconsistent absorption. Some gets through, but how much depends on the peptide size and the base it's carried in your skin barrier on that particular day. There's lots of variability. Micro-infusion removes that variability entirely. This is a micro-infusion stamp, and it has micro needles on top. They're fractions of a millimeter. They create temporary microchannels in the skin in the window immediately after stamping. Here's something most people don't understand about topical peptides, and it's why most peptide skincare underperforms. Peptides applied to intact skin get limited and inconsistent absorption. Some gets through, but how much depends on the peptide size, the base it's carried in, and your skin barrier on that particular day. There's a lot of variability. And what makes the system different is the ampoule delivers the serum simultaneously, right as you're stamping. You're not waiting and then applying separately. GHK-Cu, the SNAP-8, and the hyaluronic acid are being pushed directly into the dermis in real time while the channels are open. The same ingredients you'd find in a $200 serum, delivered exactly where it needs to go. Once a week, I stamp my skin, and 5 days a week, I also research GHK-Cu subcutaneously. 2 delivery methods, both intentional, both targeting different outcomes. My Radiance Renewal Serum system has 3 active ingredients. I want to walk you through each one because you deserve to know exactly what you're putting on your face. GHK-Cu, which we just covered, collagen synthesis, wound healing, anti-inflammatory, angiogenesis, the foundation of the formula. SNAP-8, this is the one people ask me about most because SNAP-8 is a synthetic peptide that works on the same mechanism as Botox. It limits the nerve signals that cause repetitive muscle contractions, the ones that deepen expression lines over time. No injection in the face, no frozen expression, just topical consistent reduction in line depth. It's used in professional microneedling ampoules and high-end clinic treatments. It's in my formula. And the base, the hyaluronic acid that actually penetrates. It has a smaller molecular weight, which means it actually goes into the skin rather than sitting on top of it. It pulls moisture into the deeper layers and carries the active ingredients with it. Most brands use the cheaper, larger molecule version that just films on the surface. I don't. 3 ingredients, all working together, rebuilding collagen, reducing line depth, and hydrating at the dermal level, not just the surface. I'm in my 40s. I have MS, a condition that creates systemic inflammation that shows up in the skin. I live in Austin, Texas, where the UV index is aggressive. And I get asked about my skin regularly by people who don't know what I do, by people who assume I've had something done. And the honest answer is GHK-Cu and SNAP-8. Micro-infusion, consistency, and the subcutaneous protocol I've built around it. I'm not making a before and after claim. I'm telling you what I actually do, what's in my formula, and what the research behind every ingredient shows. You can decide from there. I spent a year developing this formula because nothing on the market had the concentration I wanted at a price that made sense. The Radiance Renewal Micro-infusion system is GHK-Cu, SNAP-8, and hyaluronic acid, formulated specifically for use with a micro-infusion stamp for maximum absorption. It's in small batches, quality controlled by me personally. If you've been spending on peptide skincare that's giving you nothing, this is the conversation you need to have. Link is in the description. Go get it. And if you want the full picture, not just skin, but whole body optimization, complete peptide protocols, nutrition, energy, strategy, that's the alpha method, also in the description. Subscribe to my YouTube for Peptide of the Week. New episode every week. Drop in the comments what you want covered next, and I read every single comment. I'm Leanne Lay Fortune, raw and real with you always. See you on the next one.